Welcome to 30 Days of IBS Foods. Aubergine, sometimes called eggplant, if you are from the States, is a high fibre vegetable, and people don't really expect it to be good for you if you have IBS, but it really is, and I'm going to tell you a bit about why. When people study aubergine, we're typically thinking about the high fibre content, but there are also some really good antioxidants, particularly in the deep purple skin. It's high in fibre, but it's well digestible fibre. And so a portion around 170 grams is moderate for FODMAPs over and above that portion. So a normal portion, like 80 grams of aubergine, even up to 100 grams, is going to be low FODMAP. When you eat more than that, the FODMAP category that you might be triggering is sorbitol, which is quite surprising for a lot of people because we think about sorbitol mostly for stone fruit, like cherries, peaches, and apricots. So it's in the same category as those fruit. The way that affects your digestion is it can draw water in, creating a looser stool. Some people, it creates a bit of bloating, and maybe just the increase in fibre in itself could be triggering for some people if you have been on a very low fibre diet. But this is a low FODMAP vegetable that can really help your digestive health. If you start slow, start with a small amount and increase it up. Some of the benefits for eating aubergine include for your blood pressure, for your cholesterol levels, about healthy heart. The beneficial compound in it is called nasunin. That's the type of antioxidant, and it helps to dilate your blood vessels, like lowering blood pressure. The high levels of fibre may help to lower your LDL. That's the low density lipoproteins. So that's helping to reduce the bad cholesterol. So there's lots of benefits to adding in fibre and adding in variety. And I hope that throughout this whole 30 Days of IBS Foods series, that you've kind of got the picture that more fibre generally equals better antioxidant capacity, better lower blood pressure and healthy weight management, but also, about all the heart health stuff, like improving your cholesterol levels. So I don't have a huge amount to say about the benefits of aubergine, just that it's something easy for you to try because it's quite easy to get hold of, and you can start with a small amount. If you don't know how to eat aubergine, I would start by chopping it into small pieces. Put it with some salt for a minute because that draws some of the water out. Because what happens is if you just try and put aubergine in with some oil, it absorbs all of it and you need to keep throwing in loads and loads of oil. So you can roast it. Once you've let the salt kind of do its work, chuck it in a dish with some other Mediterranean type vegetables like tomatoes and maybe some peppers or some courgette, and roast them up. And then you can add those mix of roasted vegetables alongside a nice protein, like whether you have some chicken or some fish, tofu, something like that. It's a really delicious way to have more of maybe a lighter roast meal than some of the root veg roasted tray, which I also recommend. The only worry people might have about aubergine is that it's part of the nightshade family, which also includes tomatoes and peppers and potatoes. And some people worry that you should avoid this if you have arthritis, if you have any inflammatory conditions. Some people may get a benefit out of it, but it's not a blanket removal that I would suggest. I have worked with people who've said that they want to follow an anti-inflammatory diet where people do take out all nuts, all grains, all nightshade family vegetables, all gluten, all dairy. That is very overwhelmingly restrictive. And I don't think it's a healthy approach. And so I think it's important to test your reaction to food over time rather than saying, I can't eat any of the nightshade family because I have a condition. Does it actually affect you? Does it make you worse? A lot of the time, these connections have not been proven. And I'm not saying that they're not true, because for some people they are. But it doesn't necessarily mean that if you've got arthritis, you should avoid all these foods. Or if you have an autoimmune condition, that you can't eat aubergine or anything from the nightshade family. So do test your own tolerance before believing some of those, maybe less proven theories about food intolerance. And that's it for today. Join me tomorrow for another day of 30 Days of IBS Foods.